All right, so we're diving into LinkedIn lead generation with AI today. You sent over that YouTube video from Natasha Villaseca about using ChatGPT. And wow, she had some really smart strategies in there. What really jumped out at you?
It's interesting how she really focuses on using ChatGPT to find that like golden nugget in someone's profile. That specific thing you can mention that shows you actually looked at their profile, not just, some generic compliment.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. I am so guilty of those I love your work messages. That go to anybody. So what's her secret? What does she say ChatGPT can really nail when it comes to those connection requests?
Well, she actually suggests using ChatGPT to pull out keywords from a person's profile that are related to their aspirations, not just what they're doing now, but where they want to go. And then you weave those keywords into your connection request. It shows you're interested in their future goals, not just their current role.
Okay, that is brilliant. People love to feel like you get them.
Yeah.
And understanding their ambitions. I mean, that's next level personalization. And Villaseca really walks the walk too, right? She used ChatGPT to revamp her own LinkedIn profile.
Absolutely. And it highlights a crucial point she makes. Your profile is like your 24/7 storefront. It's the first impression you make, so it needs to grab attention. And clearly showcase your value. She calls it a client magnet, and she's not wrong.
Okay, storefront. That makes total sense. You wouldn't open a shop with a dusty window and like flickering lights, would you? You want it sparkling. Now, I do remember she mentioned a free resource from HubSpot that goes deep into profile optimization, from choosing the right photo to writing a killer headline.
Yes, that's gold. We'll definitely include that link in the show notes. Because even with AI helping out with outreach, a weak profile is still a weak foundation.
Totally. Now, once you've got that killer profile, it's time to find the right people to connect with. Did Villaseca suggest using AI for that too? To like pinpoint that target audience?
It's interesting. She actually recommends doing the initial research manually. It's about really understanding your ideal client, their industry, their job title, the size of company they work for. Those are all really important data points.
I see what you mean. You can't just throw a wide net and hope for the best. You need to be super specific about who you're trying to reach. But wait, didn't she also talk about using ChatGPT to expand your prospect list once you have that initial understanding?
You got it. She gave a great example. You give ChatGPT a company that embodies your ideal client, and then you ask it to find similar companies. It's like having a research assistant who can scour the internet for you and uncover leads you might have missed.
Whoa, I didn't realize ChatGPT could do that. Okay, so now we've got our polished profile and our list of potential connections. Time to start reaching out right. And that's where ChatGPT can really shine, according to Villaseca.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Villaseca suggests using ChatGPT to create those initial connection requests and even craft entire messaging sequences that follow up after someone accepts.
So those messages you send after connecting, the ones that set the stage for a real conversation, those are what she's talking about.
Exactly. But here's the catch. Villaseca stresses that these AI-generated messages are starting points. You can't just copy and paste them. You absolutely need to add your own personal touch and tailor each message to the specific person.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. People can spot a robotic, generic message a mile away. Nobody wants to feel like they're just a number on a spreadsheet.
Exactly. And Villaseca actually suggests looking at the person's profile and finding some common ground. Maybe you went to the same university or share a hobby or even just work in similar roles. Weaving those details into your message shows you've done your homework.
It's like you're saying, hey, I see you, not just your job title. That's a powerful way to start building a real connection.
Right. It transforms that initial outreach from a cold call into a warm introduction. Now, let's say you've sent out these personalized messages. How do you know what's working and what's falling flat?
That's a great question. Because it's easy to get so caught up in the creative side of crafting these messages that we forget to analyze the results. I remember Villaseca mentioning A/B testing, didn't she?
She did. She recommends creating different versions of your messages and then tracking their performance. She even suggests using something as simple as a Google Sheet to keep tabs on your response rates, your conversion rates, and even how many people just ignore you.
Okay, using a Google Sheet, that's a great tip. So simple, yet so effective. It makes tracking those metrics much less daunting.
And once you have that data, she suggests taking it a step further and asking ChatGPT to analyze it for you. It can actually generate a report showing which message sequences are performing best month by month.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
That's incredible. It's like having a personal data analyst on call 24/7. This is way beyond just automating tasks. Now we're talking about using AI for real strategic insights.
Exactly. And that's a perfect segue into what we'll explore in part two of our deep dive. Because Vilaseka shared a ton of really specific prompts for using ChatGPT to generate those leads on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Yeah, these prompts she shared are like cheat codes for unlocking ChatGPT's lead generation potential. They're so specific and designed to really get the best possible output.
Okay, I'm all ears. Give me an example, one of these magical prompts.
Okay. Imagine you're trying to connect with potential clients in the tech industry who might be interested in your marketing services. Vilaseca suggests a prompt like this. Give me 5 examples of LinkedIn connection requests targeted at CEOs of tech startups who are actively fundraising and looking to increase brand awareness.
Wow, that is so targeted. It's like having a virtual assistant who
Mhm.
understands exactly what you're looking for. And you're right, these prompts are hyper-specific. Did she have prompts for other scenarios too?
Oh, absolutely. Vilaseca shared prompts for everything, from competitor analysis to crafting those tricky referral request messages. She even had some for identifying potential speaking opportunities.
Speaking opportunities, that's a great one. Okay, I have to ask, what about finding contact information? Can ChatGPT actually help me track down email addresses and phone numbers for these leads?
That's where things get a little tricky. Vilaseca mentioned that ChatGPT can be hit or miss. When it comes to actually finding that contact info, you see AI models like ChatGPT are trained on massive amounts of data, but that data isn't always perfect or up to date. It might not have access to someone's latest email address or phone number.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's good to know where the limitations are. So
Okay.
ChatGPT might not be the best tool for finding contact details, but there are other platforms out there that specialize in that kind of data enrichment, right?
Exactly. And that's a perfect example of how using AI strategically means understanding where its strengths lie
Yeah.
and where you might need to supplement with other tools.
Now, even with all these amazing prompts, there's something Vilaseca kept coming back to. And it's not about the tick itself. It's about clarity.
You're absolutely right. It's not enough to just throw a general request at ChatGPT and hope for the best. Think of it like giving instructions to a human assistant. You need to be clear about the task, provide context, and even specify the tone of voice you want the AI to use.
Right. It's like that old saying, garbage in, garbage out. The better your instructions, the better the results. And I remember Vilaseca also talking about formatting. You can actually tell ChatGPT how you want that output to look.
Exactly. You can ask for a bullet point list or even a script. This level of control allows you to seamlessly integrate the AI's output into your existing workflow.
It's like having a custom-tailored solution instead of a one-size-fits-all approach. And this all comes back to what Vilaseca said about AI being a powerful tool, but it's up to you to wield it effectively. Now, beyond the tech specifics, she also had some great advice on LinkedIn lead generation. That's just good old-fashioned human wisdom. What were some of her key points there?
Well, she really emphasized the importance of keeping things personal. It's about tailoring your messages to the individual, showing genuine interest, and building authentic connections. Remember, we're talking to real people here, not just profiles.
Right. It's that human touch that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
It's about showing that you're not just some robot spamming out messages. I mean, we've all been on the receiving end of those, and it's not a good feeling.
Absolutely. Vilaseca also cautioned against being too pushy. Don't bombard people with messages or make promises you can't keep. You want to be seen as helpful and genuine, not desperate or aggressive.
So it's quality over quantity when it comes to outreach.
Yeah.
And I know she also talked about the importance of following up. It's easy to get discouraged if you don't hear back right away, but sometimes people are just busy.
Yeah, she actually has a great point about this. She says, don't be afraid to follow up, but do it respectfully. And don't be a stalker. Remember, people are juggling a lot, and they might not see your initial message. It's okay to nudge them gently.
It's about finding that sweet spot between persistence and respect. I love that. And she also emphasized measuring and optimizing your efforts right, even with AI helping out. You need to be tracking what's working and what's not.
Absolutely. And she had an awesome suggestion for this too. You can feed all that data you've been tracking into ChatGPT and ask it to generate a report that highlights what's performing best. It's like having an AI-powered coach, helping you fine-tune your approach.
I love that. An AI coach. That's amazing. Okay, so we've got the prompts, the human touch, the follow-up, the data analysis. Anything else? It feels like we've covered so much ground.
There's one more crucial piece of advice from Vilaseca that I think is really important. Be patient. Building relationships takes time. And it's essential to stay the course, even if you don't see immediate results. Remember, we're playing the long game here.
She's so right. It's easy to get caught up in the hype surrounding AI and expect instant success. But building trust and rapport takes time and effort. It's about nurturing those connections. and consistently providing value. You can't rush authenticity.
I love how she put it. It's about those small, consistent actions that build up
Mhm.
over time and lead to long-term success. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, this has been so insightful. We've covered everything from optimizing our profiles to crafting those personalized messages, and even using AI to analyze our data. But I can't help but wonder about the bigger picture.
You're right. We focused a lot on the tactical side of things, but it's important to step back and consider how this AI-assisted approach fits into our overall LinkedIn strategy.
And that's exactly what we're going to do in part 3 of our deep dive. We'll explore how AI can help us achieve those bigger picture goals on LinkedIn. All right, so we've talked about optimizing our profiles and crafting personalized messages, even using AI to analyze our data, but now it's time to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. What does all this AI-powered LinkedIn magic actually mean for us? How does it all fit into our overall strategy?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's easy to get so caught up in the shiny new tools and forget the AI is just one piece of the puzzle. It's not some magic button that's going to instantly transform our LinkedIn presence
Yeah.
and flood us with leads.
Exactly. It's about taking a step back and asking, what are we actually trying to achieve on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Are we looking to build our brand, network with industry leaders, find new clients? AI can be a powerful tool, but we need to know what we're aiming for
Yeah.
before we start, swinging it around.
I love that analogy. It's like having a superpower, awesome potential, but you need to know how to control it and use it for good. So before you even think about AI, you need a solid LinkedIn strategy. Who is your ideal audience? What kind of relationships do you want to build? Once you have those answers, then you can start exploring how AI can help you get there faster and more efficiently.
It's like having a roadmap before you set off on a journey, right? You don't just jump in the car and start driving. You need to know where you're going first. Now, I know Vilasika talked a lot about the practical side of using AI for lead generation, but did she touch on the ethical considerations at all? I mean, it is a powerful technology, and it feels important to use it responsibly.
Oh, she definitely emphasized the human element throughout the whole video. It's not about tricking people into connecting with you or using AI to manipulate them into buying something. It's about using technology to build genuine, authentic relationships that are mutually beneficial.
It all comes back to that human touch we were talking about before. It's not about replacing ourselves with robots. It's about using AI to enhance our existing skills and connections.
Exactly. AI can help us automate tasks, analyze data, even craft of those initial messages. But it's up to us to bring the warmth, the personality, the genuine interest. That makes a real connection.
It's like having a really amazing assistant who can handle all the logistical details, but you're still the one building the relationship, having those conversations, and nurturing the connection. AI can help you work smarter, but it can't replace that human element.
I love that. It's a partnership, not a takeover. And that's what Vilaseka really drove home in her video. It's about using AI strategically and ethically to enhance our LinkedIn presence and build meaningful connections that lead to real-world opportunities.
So we've covered a ton of ground here, from optimizing profiles to personalized outreach, even A/B testing our messages. AI can definitely speed things up. But I love Vilaseka's point about using it as an assistant, not a replacement. Your authentic voice and genuine connection. That's what really makes the difference. Expert speaker, any final thoughts for our listener as they dive into this world?
I think just remember to think about the bigger picture. How does this AI-assisted approach fit into your overall LinkedIn strategy? It's easy to get caught up in the tools and tactics, but ultimately it's about building meaningful relationships. Consider how you can use AI to enhance your human touch, not replace it entirely. That's where the real magic happens.